my posse deep and irate, and we act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's. Bitches guess over. Big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out. Back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubble. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubble. Look at the cash, bubble.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle SeaHawks and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and our home team. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On first down, Wilson. And incomplete to open things up. Jaron Brown, the intended target. And it's second down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down. The defense here for the Rams.
I'm focused here on Aqib Talib. Into his 30s now, but still playing at an extremely high level. It has a reputation as a ball magnet. And a lot of people think that means the ball just comes right to him. No, he goes and gets it. Both in interceptions, forces fumbles, and oftentimes turns it into 6 points for his own team.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. yards, the 2 scores, and, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain. He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Rams offense ready. They're backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by a guy who's moved around a bit in his career already. Out of the University of Texas, it's Colt McCoy.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, McCoy looking deep in the direction of Cooper. It's caught inside the 25. So an even first quarter on the scoreboard, but the threat of points on the horizon. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, and they've got it here with a 1st down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with 1st downs on each play.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. David Njoku, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are in for 6.
Well, defense are going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the first half of the season.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet. And we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
Now Wilson on first down. Open man right side is cut, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. They'll leave this for Ware. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. To throw again is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Rams have got it back.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly, and now first and goal.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Lambeau to add on the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and it's now 14-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Wilson. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run now with Ware. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Green Bay to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Mitchell Trubisky's looking good. 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
All right, here we go.
From the gun, McCoy. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big conversion there for the Rams on third down. 41 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a
blitz coming, and down he goes.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Looking to throw on second down. McCoy. He's going to air it out. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's McCoy. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now McCoy. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And it's now 21-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Wilson on second down. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to Toronto. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it is incomplete. Aqib Talib, the veteran Pro Bowler, there to get a hand in, knock it away. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They run with Breida. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Rams on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that makes the score 28-0. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On third down, Wilson. Time for a break. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. Look at this spin. Balance. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got it at the 15. And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Now, a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down. Back to the air on second down. McCoy. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. They come out here in the eye. Looking to throw. McCoy. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They go play action here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Oh, wait, hold everything, and timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. This a 33-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the home team here, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Renegade, renegade, renegade.
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, gave it the choke code.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See slime break night, this break night. My wrist watch is like a break light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. 50